Hello, friends. So, we will start our new lecture of Sociology Uncomplicated Series. We will study today a very confusing thinker and very important as well, Talcott Parsons. So, why he's considered confusing? Because he was confused between two strands. His upbringing was from a voluntarism school, and then he became inspired by the structural functionalism school. What is voluntarism school? This should be your first question. So voluntarism school believed in that any individual has free will. So whatever you want to do in life, you can do it. This is voluntarism school. And structural functionalism, which we studied as part of Imai Durkheim. So Durkheim said, any individual is constrained by social fact, which is external and coercive. So where is the free will? There is no free will. So how Parson is intermixing both? Let's understand that. You are an individual born in middle class family. Your parents say, I have given you freedom. You can marry any individual you want, but within our caste. Within our caste. Now, caste is constrained. And choice is among the caste, boys and girls only. So you are free, but your freedom is curtailed by society. So this is what Talcott Parsons wanted to explain through his theory. This is the first confusion. Now the second confusion is because he was inspired or perhaps studied biology. Now when he studied biology, he was deeply inspired by the human body. Now he believed that society is also like a human body. Now, like human body to survive have to perform certain functions. What are those certain functions? You have to breathe air, right? Blood circulation, heartbeat, right? Digestion process, excretion. These are certain basics without which your body will collapse. So Talcott Parsons says, just like human body, in order to survive, the society should also have certain prerequisite which will help the society to survive. And then came his grand theories like AGIL, pattern variable. We will understand that one by one. The first thing that he did was, since he was inspired from voluntarism school, was to explain social action theory. Now, his social action is wider than Weber. Just like his previous story, he has intermixed several theories. How? So let's understand his definition, then you will understand how he has intermixed several theories again. He says that social action is the one when you have a purpose. You have a purpose to act. Second, for a reason, for a purpose and for a reason, in response to the world. Now, can you understand what he is doing purposely? He is mixing actor will have purpose and reason, plus situation. Everything around you that shapes what you can do. So again, he has mixed actor, voluntarism, and situations. Situations will again constant you. So you want to go outside, but there is a rainy season. You don't have umbrella. Can you go outside? You want to pursue higher education, but you don't, your parents or your family, or you do not have enough money to pursue that high quality education or higher education. So situations are also constraining, but an actor is rational. He's not simply passive. He's navigating. He's trying to navigate these situations to choose what is best for that person. This is the beauty of Talcott Parsons' theory. Everybody, even a person who is a cobbler, he is navigating through the circumstances and situations and rationally choosing what he or she is doing to survive, to gain what he and she wants in life. So he is saying that all actors are rationally acting. Okay. So this is very, very important. Think of another example. You all must be belonging to Gen Z. Some would be millennials as well, since many of my students are also from UGC net, etc. So you are opening Zomato. Okay. Now you want to order food. That's why you are on Zomato. You are the actor. Menu is situation. You didn't created the menu. You didn't created the menu, but the restaurant did. Okay, restaurant did, but within that menu, you choose what to order. The menu has physical objects, that is food. Okay. Cultural objects also what's considered normal. You may like veg. You may cannot eat non-veg also. Sawan ka mahina. Or you are a vegetarian. So cultural objects are also there. When you go to restaurant to eat, then social objects are also there, like waiters, other diners. So your choice is real, but it only happens inside the menu you were handed, or the menu were not made by you. Restaurants were not made by you. You are living in a place where restaurants are also limited. So your choices are constant by the physical objects, by the social objects, and by the cultural objects. Okay. Now, let's understand how a basic urge becomes a proper action. Basic urge becomes a proper action. So Parson says every action starts as a raw biological urge. Bhook lag gayi, hunger. But culture processes that urge in stages before it becomes an actual action. There are 4 stages. The first stage is drive. The second is need disposition. Third is motive. Fourth is value orientation. Now let's understand it. Let's understand the first example. Sex is a raw biological drive. Now, society shapes this into wanting relationships. That is need disposition. This becomes the motive of flirting. Flirting, this is a motive. And culture finally shapes who you flirt with. Flirting with someone your culture considers appropriate. You from your own caste, from your own age group, that society will decide. That is value orientation. I am giving the examples which you can relate with. Let's give another example. Hunger is a raw biological drive. Now, this becomes a need disposition for food. Food is needed. This becomes a motive to eat something specific, say lunch. Now, and your value orientation might be choosing a salad over a burger. You are on a diet, not because your body needs salad specifically, but because culturally you value being a healthy person. You are a very fit person, and to satisfy that, you are choosing salad, or it can be genuinely as well. You are overweight. In both examples, body, society shapes it, you act on it, culture decides what proper looks like. Okay. Now I think you would be able to understand. Now there are 3 ingredients of motive. 3 ingredients of motive. What are those 3 ingredients, my friend? So every motive Parson talks about actually has 3 ingredients mixed into it. What are those? The first is cognitive. Cognitive means you are judging right from wrong. Is this okay to do? Is this fine to do? What is right and wrong? You're constantly judging. Okay, I want to wear this cloth, but is it right or wrong? I'm going to temple. Can I wear this cloth? You are constantly judging this. This is cognitive element. Then we have cathartic element. Cathartic element means your emotions. So do I love this or I hate this? Love and hate is emotion. So cathartic is emotional part. I hate this particular actor. I hate this movie. I hate this place. Emotional. Need not be rational. And the third is evaluative. So you urge to get a maximum satisfaction. What gets me the best result? I want to be the rank one. I want to have the maximum respect in the society. This is your evaluative element. You are always evaluating your performance. You get 99 marks, you evaluate. 99 is good enough based on your rank. So you are constantly doing that, right? So choosing to study instead of watching a movie the night before an exam involves all three. What are those? Knowing is the right thing to do is cognitive. Feeling anxious about failing is emotional, that is cathartic. And wanting the best outcome is evaluative. Okay? So this is what you need to know. Now, let's understand another very important concept by Talcott Parsons, that is pattern variable. The 5 everyday choices culture gives you. Now, this is the part everyone finds now intimidating in life. You have choices and you have to choose one. Okay. This is very difficult. But for every single choice that you are taking, experiences will play a role, culture will play a role. Culture plays a massive role. So let's see. These are like a dichotomies. Culture is drastically patterned. So, what are these dichotomies? Like effectivity versus effective neutrality is the first dichotomy. What is this? Let's understand. Your family doctor who is known you for years and treats you warmly, that is effectivity. He or she is treating you warmly, that is effectivity. Now, consider another example. A doctor or a surgeon who must stay, surgeon who must stay emotionally detached to operate correctly under pressure. If he is becoming emotional, if she is becoming emotional, then काम गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. The surgery will not be fine. The surgery will not be appropriate. That is called as effective neutrality. So dichotomy, effectivity versus effective neutrality. That is emotion rahe ya without emotion. This is the first dichotomy. Now let's understand the second dichotomy. That is particularism versus universalism. Particularism versus universalism. Okay, now what is this? Now, say for example, hiring your cousin for a job because he is family, that is particularism. Versus hiring the most qualified candidates regardless of who they are, that is universalism. Particularism, you can be particularistic about the people you know. Here there is affinity. Universalistic based on merit. That is called as universalistic criteria. Okay? So particularism versus universalism. Now the third dichotomy that Talcott Parsons talked about is quality versus performance. That is ascription versus achievement. Now let's understand. A prince who becomes king just by being born into the royal family is based on ascription, that is birth based. Versus someone like Sundar Pichai, a company CEO who worked their way up through performances and results. That is based on achievement or performance, not based on by birth qualities or like caste system. Caste system in villages can be considered as ascriptive, that is worth based. And if you are clearing civil services, that is based on performance. You all are appearing in one examination where the pattern is same for everyone. Okay. The last, so the second last one is diffuseness versus specificity. What is it? Let's understand it with example. Your relationship with your mother, which touches every part of your life, that is diffused in your life. Every part of your life is being touched by your mother. Versus your relationship with your plumber, your carpenter, your electrician, or your society guard, who is only relevant for your specific purpose. That is pipe leak, bulb is damaged. You're calling electrician for repair. So the purpose is specific. Your relationship with your mother is diffused. It is touching all parts of your life. Specificity means for only a specific purpose. The last dichotomy is collective orientation versus self-orientation. Let's understand with example. A joint family is making a decision together. and prioritizing the family's interest. That is collective orientation. Consider an individual choosing a career purely based on personal ambition. That is self-orientation. Nowadays, people are choosing careers thoda hatke, na? That is out of the box. Like 5 years, 6 years down the line, if someone would have said, I am an influencer, society used to question, Arey, kaam kya karte ho? What job you do permanently? This is the fine. What you are doing permanently. But 5, 6 years later on, this has become something mainstream and well respected because of the money that is flowing. Money is power, power is money. This is a part of a song, right? So when in any particular direction the money starts following, that particular field becomes respected. Engineering became lucrative when the LPG reforms came. LPG reforms came, multinational companies started opening in the nation, and engineering became lucrative. After certain slowdown and coming of AI, now again, many people are fighting for government jobs. 4 5 years down the line, when India will become an AI superpower, then what will happen? People will again move towards corporate sector. So the situation, the culture, the economy decides what you are choosing. This is the beauty of Talcott Parsons. He's also giving the due contribution to culture and societal factors and also to a human being. Are you totally free? No. John Rawls said that you are born free, but you are everywhere in chains. You are born, and within 5 minutes, your religion is decided, your caste is decided, your language is decided, and your entire life you're dying fighting for the things you never chose. Understood? Let's understand this even further through a dichotomy between rural and urban area. What? Rural and urban area. Now let's understand how. In rural area, emotions play a vital role. Village may, most of the people know each other, right? So emotion is there. In urban area, there is affective neutrality. Emotions are not there. Even in a same society, people don't hardly know each other. Particularism. Let's understand what is particularism. What is particularism, my friend? So, particularism means biasness, affinity with which you are taking decisions. You are hiring your cousin instead of the most qualified person. So, in village areas, the occupation is usually decided by affinity. In urban areas, usually by merit. Then ascription versus achievement. So, village society is still dominated by caste and gender. Urban areas more by achievements and diffuseness. So, in village areas, your neighbor is not just a neighbor. He is part and parcel of your life. You are celebrating festivals together. You are doing rituals together. You are even doing many social activities together. Even economic activities are done together. Farmers are harvesting crops, taking tractors, going together to the mandis. So activities are diffuse. In urban area, specific purpose. है ना? आपको फूड चाहिए, जोमेटो, स्विगी, urban company for a specific purpose like electrician you want, then you will just go to the urban company app and do that. Okay. Then collective orientation. So usually in village, the collective orientation is there. Every decision that you are taking, you are keeping in mind what society will say. That is collective orientation. Self-orientation is I am. It's my life. That song is self-orientation. And in urban areas, your life is more and more dominated by it's my life. I will decide. Who is someone? Who is Charlog? Those 4 people will not come when I don't have money. Okay. So I hope now you understood the pattern variable. Now let's understand another thing. We decided or we perhaps studied when we started this lecture. What was that? That society is like a human organ, right? And to survive, there has to be certain prerequisite. आ गए prerequisite पे. These prerequisites were explained by Talcott Parsons through AGIL. Now let's understand it, my friend. A stands for what? A stands for adaptation. G stands for goal. I stands for integration. L stands for latency. Okay. Parson, when he was trying to give this theory of social system or social reality, he said there should be five characteristics. One, it is a unified whole of interconnected parts. Unified whole of interconnected parts. It is structured parts connected in definite, predictable patterns. It has needs, universal or system specific. Fourth, he said it has goal orientation. It does not exist in vacuum. And fifth, it is self equilibrating. That is borrowed directly from the biological idea of homeostasis. What is homeostasis? आपको गर्मी लगती है, you feel hot. You start sweating to maintain the body temperature. Your body is whole interconnected, right? And the parts are interdependent. It is structured. Eyes have specific function. Eye is above nose. It is structured, right? It has predictable patterns. Now, it has needs. Body has needs. Body has food needs. Body had sexual needs. Body had different kinds of need. Universal or specific. It has goal orientation. Your body has an orientation. It is not in vacuum. It is performing activities in the society. So this is how you need to understand the social system. And it needs to maintain equilibrium. So equilibrium, when a system needs are fulfilled by its part. Okay. Parson never applied this equilibrium theory on social action, but in social system. Okay. Like any other structural functionalist, he also wanted to build a grand theory. Now let's understand. Parsons derived four functional prerequisites that every system and every social action must meet. That is AGIL: adaptation, goal orientation, integration, and latency. Okay. Now let's understand. अब हम समझते हैं इसको थ्रू अ क्रिकेट टीम. ओके. जार्गन से यू वोंट अंडरस्टैंड. क्रिकेट टीम है. देयर इज अ क्रिकेट टीम, राइट? नाउ एडेप्टेशन हो गया यहाँ पे स्पॉन्सर एंड इक्विपमेंट्स, रिसोर्सेज टू प्ले विद. ठीक है. गोल ओरिएंटेशन हो गया. कौन करेंगे? कप्तान साहब, कैप्टन एंड द कोच. They will set the goal to win the match. Now, there is integration. कौन करेगा? Playing 11. Coordinate as one unit on field. Latency, that is done by youth academy. Why youth academy? They train future players in team values. क्या team values होनी चाहिए? Okay. That is why you will see now players who are very, very talented, but they do not have the team values or team spirit. They're discarded, even if they have huge talent. You can have certain names in mind, like Prithvi Shaw. He's an absolutely talented player, one of the best talents, but do not have the team values, discipline. We had another very big stalwart, Kamli. Sachin Tendulkar, Vinod Kamli. What was the difference? The difference was just the values and attitude. Aptitude both had. One was worshipping cricket like anything. One was treating the 22-yard pitch as temple. One never threw the bat. One was always ready to practice. One was the first person to practice and go the last. When Ramakant Achekar used to say, okay, you have to play the entire day and I will give you ₹1 fine. That person never became dismissed 22 times. When Shane Warne came and he was able to dismiss Sachin Tendulkar by just using a leg spin and putting that ball, pitching that ball rather on the rough. Now that person started practicing a lot. How? By bringing a lot of leg spinners and making purposefully a big rough. Practicing so much that he then scored a marvelous century. And then came the famous Desert Storm, where Shane Warne was blown away further. And he said, he gave a statement that Sachin Tendulkar advancing on the pitch is coming on my dream. Is coming in my dream. Now, this is how a value makes a person great. Now, let's come back again to this theory. So, adaptation is the team's need, that is resources, sponsorship, funding, equipment. Goal attainment, the team needs a clear goal and a plan to achieve it. Integration, the player needs to coordinate with each other, communicate, and work as one unit. This is exactly like the social system job. Latency, the team has a youth academy that trains young players in the team's culture and values long before they play a single match. Okay. Now same AGIL theory. Now let's apply to entire country. चलो apply करते हैं. मजा आएगा. Country में AGIL कैसे लगाएंगे? A stands for adaptation. In country, who does the adaptation? Economic system. How resources will come, how economy will run. G stands for goal attainment. What is it? Political system, my friend. Government is setting and pursuing national goals. And the third thing, that is integration. That is integration. Who does it? The societal community. Laws. Same laws governing everybody. Shared norms and values binding each other citizens. Then comes latency. That is fiduciary system. Your family, education system is passing down values from one generation to another generation. Okay. Adaptation is done by organismic system that adapts to individual social situation, choosing from culturally limited options. Goal attainment is done by personality system, identifying the goal of the action. Latency is done by cultural system that supplies value for pattern maintenance. And latency is done by cultural system that supplies values for pattern maintenance. And integration is done by social system that fulfills the integration needs. I explained you through examples so that you can understand it vividly. Always. Examples are very, very important. Now, again, we will see the theory of social system. Okay. So social system was defined by Talcott Parsons as plurality of individual actors interacting with each other in a situation which has at least physical or environmental aspects. Actors who are motivated in terms of a tendency to optimize gratification. सब चाहते हैं, we will become rich, we will become successful. And whose relation to their situations, including each other, is defined and mediated in terms of system of culturally structured and shared symbols. Simple बात है कि बहुत सारे actors in a society, they are interacting. Everybody wants their own benefit, right? They want to optimize their gratification. They are constantly in relationship with their situations. They are defined and mediated in terms of system of culture and shared symbols. Shared symbols in the language. Language is shared symbols. आप interact करते हो कैसे करते हो? Through language. Some of my students will speak Kannada. Some of my students will speak Tamil. Some of my students will speak Marathi. Some of them are Hindi Bhashi. Some may speak Bangla. These are the language essential factor is shared symbol. अगर मैंने बोल दिया मैं means I and everybody is accepting, then it will become a language. Okay. So this is what you need to understand. A single social action never exists in isolation. Each action is response to some previous action. Okay. So social action or social reality is interconnected. आप जो आज कर रहे हो या a country is doing now is also related to what happened in the past. Okay. Each social system has universal and specific need, and they maintain equilibrium that we learn through AGIL. Now, let's understand the AGIL theory or structural functionalist theory given by Talcott Parsons through societal units. Family, आप देखो. The family performs irreducible function, that is primary socialization of a children and adult personality stabilized. What is right, what is wrong? From where you understood? From your family, from your father, from your mother, right? And your personality. I value charity. I value honesty. That also largely came from the family. Yes, we unlearn so many things when we get true education and through experiences. Then religion. So it strengthens the value consensus in society. The same values. Okay. Now there is a seven. We will not eat non-vegetarian. So this is value consensus given by religion. Okay, these religion answers questions which science has not been able to answer until now. But who knows about the future? Many things science were not able to find, and religion were occupying that. Now all those things have been occupied by science. Okay. Then comes stratification. So Parsons stresses the importance of inequality. ये जो functionalist है ना, they say that inequality is important. Inequality of posts are important. That allows those who perform better get rewarded more. Okay. There is sharp criticism about it. Who decides? Who decides which functions are more important? Who decides who is performing harder? Okay. So the reward mechanism itself is flawed. And a mutual steering mechanism is needed to maintain this order. But the order will exist until there is consensus. Okay. Now, let's understand some core criticism of Talcott Parsons. So, पहला सबसे बड़ा criticism दिया गया था was given by Ralph Dahrendorf. Ralph Dahrendorf. He says you can't just study why things stay together. Conflict, like strikes, are happening in the society. Protests, like CJP protests, is just as normal a part of society, and you are ignoring half the picture. Conflicts are happening every day in the society. So Ralph Dahrendorf is saying you are too much obsessed about just staying together. This is your obsession. This is not the reality. The second important criticism was given by C. Wright Mills. He says that your explanation is like a circular. It's like saying it rains because rain is needed. You are not really explaining anything. Just restating that order exists because order is needed. What is this? Goal ghuma rahe ho. Round you are trying to revolve us. Okay. Then another gentleman, Jesse Bernard. Who is that? Jesse Bernard. He says, you say family stabilizes the adult personality, but really you mean it stabilizes the husband's personality, while the wife does all the invisible work. You have quietly written women out of the picture. You have quietly written women out of the picture. Jesse Bernard. Then a very prominent person, Anthony Giddens. He says, your version of a person just follows the rules society gives them. Like a robot that was pre-programmed by culture. Real people push back, negotiate, and reshape the rules too. We are not passive actors. Right? Now, how culture controls the body, the remote control, how change occurs towards a moving equilibrium. Now, after getting heavily criticized for ignoring change, Parsons built a model to explain how change happens. His idea is like a TV remote controlling a television. So, remote is your culture. Small but full of information. Sends information to the TV, that is the body. Big uses a lot of energy, but no info of its own. Now, a TV remote is small and uses very little energy, but it carries a lot of information. Which channel, what volume. The television itself uses a huge amount of energy, but it has no information of its own. It just does whatever the remote tells it. So Parsons says the same relationship exists in the four-level hierarchy. Culture is like the remote, carries the most important information and controls everything below it. While the body, that is organism like the TV, has the most raw energy, but the least seen what happens. Information flows down from the culture, energy flows up from the body. This is what is called as the cybernetic hierarchy of social control. Okay, cybernetic hierarchy of control. I hope you understood. So culture have high information. The information will flow from here to here. Culture to social system, to personality system, to organismic system. And energy will flow from your body. That is from organismic system. So Parsons' evolution theory is something which you can understand if you think of society as a video game character leveling up. Okay, it unlocks one new power up. Parsons called this an evolutionary universal. There are six levels. Level one, that is primitive. And primitive society unlocks stratification. People are grouped only by blood and kinship ties. The second level is primitive evolved. Now it unlocks written language. People can now be organized by where they live, not just family. Price classes also appears. Okay. Then level three is archaic. Unlocks at three, at the level third, that is class system. Now here royalty, clergy, and commoners emerge. Then the society moved to level four, that is historic. That society unlocks separation of religion and politics. The king and the priest are no longer having the same job. Then comes the level five, that is seedbed. So unlocks a universal legal system. Everyone is equal before the God and therefore before the law. That is rule of law system. And then comes the modern society. The final unlock, that is the beautiful unlock, democracy. Parsons says no society has finished this game until it gets here. Parsons does not say every society must pass through every level in the exact same order, like a single fixed path. He imagines it more like a balancing tree of possible routes, not one straight line. So not every society is moving through this, but this is how society can level up. And different societies have different ways to do it. So primitive, primitive evolved, then intermediate archaic, intermediate historic, intermediate seedbed, and then the modern. Okay. And this also has been criticized. Okay. The criticism is even his improved leveling up theory of change had a blind spot. It only explains slow, gradual, step by step change. Think of French Revolution or India's freedom struggle. These were not smooth level up where society resolved internal stresses and moved to a new equilibrium. They were sudden ruptures, often violent, that broke the old system apart in a matter of years, not generations. So Parson model has no good answer for this, which is exactly why critics say his entire framework, even in its improved evolutionary form, is still secretly biased towards gradual order over real revolutionary change. So revolutionary change को he discarded. ठीक है? तो पहली चीज, let's have a recap of his theory. So he said कि society understanding should be based on voluntarism and structure, both he gave importance to. Then social action will be defined by both actor and situation, like ordering of a restaurant menu. Then drive, your bodily drive has a value orientation. So body urges shaped step by culture into proper action. Then we studied pattern variables. 5 everyday choices culture nudges you toward. Then we studied AGIL scheme. 4 things any system needs to survive like a cricket team. Social system theory, AGIL applied to a whole country, economy, politics, community, family, school. Cybernetic hierarchy, culture is the remote control, the body is the TV. An evolutionary universal, society levels up through 6 stages, unlocking new feature each time. I hope, gentlemen, you understood Talcott Parsons. If I was able to make you understand this theory, please comment on this video. Please like, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I recorded this video once. I was not satisfied. I recorded it again. I want the best for you people. I don't care how many views are coming. I just care how many people are watching. Are they able to understand it or not? Even if 10 people are able to understand, I will still carry forward this. So it's very, very important. Even those 10 people who are watching, please comment. Please say you understood it or not. This feedback means a lot to me. I am giving my absolute best. I will give my absolute best because changing and making societal changes is my passion that I have got from my bloodline. Thank you very much. Take care and best wishes for you all.